Welcome to 1965. You are a purchaser working for an American manufacturer. Your factory produces real American cars for real Americans. For that, however, you need to buy 10,000 pieces of Part A, which is a highly valuable and strategic good. Price offers have arrived and have been negotiated upon as well. And now, only one action remains. You have to decide from which supplier how many pieces you purchase. You are a true believer in competition, and therefore you purchase 10,000 pieces from supplier A, who offered the cheapest price. 2 years later, you are in a similar situation. However, a strange thing has happened. During the time that have passed, the other partners seem to have withdrawn from making business with you. The market of Part A is pretty small, and even though the prices 2 years ago never went public, every supplier of Part A has either gone out of business or just have accepted that your preferred supplier is Supplier A. Even worse, Supplier A knows this as well, and tells you that in order to compensate for losses suffered during the last 2 years, they have to raise the price by 60%. You are naturally furious, but what can you do? There is only one offer, and no other supplier is willing to invest in you, knowing that you will always just go for the cheapest offer. You actually killed your supplier market. Now let's switch to Japan and the 1980s. You are a diligent purchaser of a Japanese original car manufacturer. You need to purchase 10,000 pieces of Part A, and the offers are already in. You put great emphasis on nurturing your partners and maintaining the goodwill within the supply chain. Obviously, supplier D is more expensive than supplier A, but maintaining your supply base triumphs the cost consideration. Part A is both highly valuable and critical. You would not want any disruption in the supply chain, therefore when you place your order, you distribute it equally. 2 years later, what you see is that all of your partners initiated a moderate price hike. They apologize for it and explain by keeping up with increased wages and with the additional innovation that they have undertaken on Part A. You are not happy with it, but it is undeniable that your partners always delivered on time and full and have indeed invested in improving Part A as well. To close off the purchasing process, the partners invite you to a bar where you drink a toast for maintaining business relationships. Let's jump to 2009. You are a purchaser for a German manufacturer. You are actually academically trained, with full knowledge of the collective experience of the last decades. The price offers are in, and you need to allocate the tendered volumes to the individual partners. Obviously, supplier A is the cheapest, but you want to make sure that for strategic parts, there is always a main supplier and at least one alternative who can supply volume. Therefore, you position the greatest volumes on suppliers A and B. You also would like to maintain business relations as well with supplier C to keep the competition between the suppliers. Finally, with supplier D, you have a background agreement that they will be investing in the coming months in new technology for the production of Part A. Both supplier C and D will receive 1,000 pieces. 2 years later, suppliers A and B have adjusted according to the inflation. Supplier C maintained its price knowing full well that they are already an expensive option. Supplier D, however, could radically reduce the price as the investment in the enhanced production of Part A was successful. As a purchaser, you are happy, as you could both maintain the supply and reduce the long-term prices. This little story is to show that in supply chain management, the people have realized decades ago that markets need to be carefully balanced and maintained for optimal performance. Incentives should be made that support competition, but safely allow for the prospering of even the losers of said competitions. That is why an ideology taken to the extreme that promote the absolute supremacy of markets or that dictate that all participants must have the same outcomes are equally dumb. Policy should not be dictated by labels. The question is not whether market forces need to apply, but how much.